All right, welcome to my channel. So the first thing that you need to know before you start watching my videos is the purpose of this channel is for education and entertainment, mostly education with some entertainment, and mostly for my students. Really, it's an opportunity for me to showcase my algorithm and for my students to see it working and me to be able to talk about the trades and why I'm taking the trades and things like that. This is not a channel where I'll be showing you that I'm making millions of dollars. So family rules, you won't be seeing that. Some traders out there want to put their stuff out. I don't even know why they do that. Like on social media in a public sphere, hey, look at me, I made 20,000 today, 50,000 today, all that stuff. That will not happen on this channel. The most you'll see me making here is anywhere from $50 to $1,000 in a day would be the most once we get to that level of scaling. And then I'll reset and we'll be looking at $50 and we'll be scaling back to, a thousand a day or so. And we'll just keep resetting that scaling. But family rules will not be showing you on this, my social media, that I'm making tons of money. Second thing is I'm trading with Thinkorswim. That's my platform that you see here on the screen. So you got my two windows on futures trading. Same thing, it'll be Thinkorswim. So you'll see that I trade futures and the equities market with these videos. I trade based off of my algorithm, the simple switch algorithm, and it's got different settings. Same algo, but different settings for futures market, for equities market, and different types of trading. It's got different settings for it. So I'll be trading off of that. Links below if you're interested in learning more about the algo. All the education over there is free, as well as the trading log that you'll see. You can get the link below, which will give you that log, so you can go over there and explore all that stuff. So when you're looking at my screen, now when you're looking at my screen, you'll see these the chart markups, and you'll see yellow. Wherever I put yellow is an entry. So when it's yellow like this, it's the algo ideal entry. And then you may see a yellow like this, and that is where I actually got in, and it'll be touching the candle that I got in on. And then the location. Red are my stops, green are my targets. And then if you want to learn how the algo works so you can better understand what I'm doing when I'm doing my trades, over at the link below, you can go over there and learn all about the algo. It's completely free for that whole education. It's free to learn about my trading plan, my strategy, everything that I teach about trading is free over there. Only thing that costs money is if you decided to buy the algo, then that would cost money. But you can apply a lot of the stuff that I teach over there, including my strategy and trading plan, to your own strategies and help maybe improve your game. So all that is definitely free. I don't charge for any of that education. Only the algo if that's something you decided to add to your list. So then sometimes you'll see on here me doing experiments, which I'm going to try to do another one later on this year when I get a little more time. But I love to do trading experiments. We blow up accounts, but we do it in the purpose of education, showing you that certain trading techniques or strategies sometimes just don't work. And we play with some different concepts and blow up accounts, real accounts, small accounts, but still real accounts. And you'll also see some small accounts as well, like when we do offshore brokers and things like that. So, and then of course, educational videos I'll be putting out as well. So there's a lot of different content here. So if you can give me the like, hit that like button, that would help me a lot with the YouTube. And if you subscribe and hit that bell icon, you can be notified whenever I upload new content. And the last thing, but probably the most important thing, is trading is very risky. Do not place a trade based on what you see here or whatever I say. I'm not telling you what to do. If it sounds like I'm telling you what to do, it's me just thinking out loud. And most traders will lose all of their money. I am strictly speculating. I do not have a crystal ball. So, I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. So please do not take financial advice from me. This is strictly to talk about how I trade, to teach about how I do things, and for your entertainment. All right, so now the legal stuff is out of the way. Let's get into today's trades. All right, everybody, good evening. It's the weekend. We're getting ready to go into week 35. So I'm going to start doing these weekly market outlooks, if you will, based on what my algorithm is showing me, and as well as some technical analysis. And this week we're also going to look at AMC and GME. Are they setting up for a move? And is there something there to trade? We're also going to look at oil, silver, gold, and then several of the indexes. So again, we'll start doing these on the weekends, kind of give you the week outlook coming up, and look at some long-term outlooks as well as some short-term outlooks. and see how everything's shaping up with technical analysis, a little bit of that, and a lot of the algo. So I'm going to start doing this. If there's anything you'd like me to cover, please let me know. Leave it in the comments below so that I can try to touch base on that. If there's industries that you would like me to cover and so forth, leave it in the comments below, and we'll see what we can do for the following weekend. So let's get into it. All right, so first up is the IWM. So right here we have the iShares Trust Russell 2000 ETF. So right now, what I see, I mean, the algo right now, it's still looking to the, I would say to the neutral side right now. It's the neutral side. So our green is telling us that it's a long play, but at the same time, we're seeing a lot of weakness right here with the algo. So I would not be getting into this long. We have a little bit of a channel forming right here, or has formed already right here. So if I were to be trading the IWM, which I'm not, but if I were to be trading the IWM, I would be looking to get in pretty much right here. Maybe even add to my position right here. I would be looking to put my stop somewhere in this this zone out here, a clear breakout. Around the area, I'd be looking to put my stop, and I would also maybe even be looking to take a long trade on it, or at least a starter on that. If this would have broke out, I'd probably speed bump a starter. I would look for a retracement to retest this support area or resistance area to become support, and then go higher before I add it to my position, or for the algo to give me an indicator that I should trade. Right now, the algo is not telling me to trade this, but if I were to trade this, it would be to the short side, and I'd be looking in to get in somewhere in this little area right here with a tight stop to a speed bump, if you will, to reverse my position. So, and then if it did break down, we do have a gap here that's still open, and that gap kind of coincides with, you can see what was once resistance that should now become support. So it could slide all the way back down here if this breaks to the downside. So yeah, could get really ugly. That's a pretty big fall. But there's IWM. I'm not trading it, but if I was going to, I would think I would be looking to the short side. Risk reward looks pretty good. And we're in that channel right now, and I'm seeing weakness in the algo. Not short weakness, but just weakness in general. Thus the consolidation. So we'll see what happens there. All right, moving on. Next up, let's go look at the Dow Jones. Okay, so Dow Jones, again, looking really strong. Nice uptrend. Really strong in the algo here, but it is showing weakness coming in. So there could be some consolidation forming here for a little while in the Dow Jones before it continues higher, or before the algo triggers a short trade and we start looking for a slide to the downside. And again, we do have this big gap right here. Could be a nice long way back down to this area or lower when that slide happens. So yeah, we'll just have to see what the algo says. Once the algo tells me it's a short trade, then I'll be able to get better targets. But until the algo tells me to short it, I don't really know where we're looking at going. I do know the gap fill is a draw, so we'll have to see. But I would not be entering the Dow Jones to the long side right now. And this is the weekly charts, so we're looking at really long term. If we jump over to the daily chart, you can still see a lot of weakness. Yeah, algo is actually signaling a potential short for a short-term trade right now on the algo for the Dow Jones. Yeah, I say potential because it's not a really strong indicator of a short yet, but definitely looks positive. So if I were to play the Dow Jones, I would be shorting it, putting my stop somewhere above the high, and looking to get stopped out, and then wait for it to retest support and then jump in. But yeah, right now we're still doing higher highs, higher lows, so not too bad. We have our low. Is this a lower high and a lower low shaping up? To be determined. Let's go back over and look at the IWM again with the daily, actually, so we could see how that is in the short term. So IWM on the short term right here, it's bullish right now. Short term IWM is bullish. So yeah, so you know, if I were to short this in here, I should be expecting this to have continued moving up. But I may, if I were, like I said, I would do my starter position here, and then I would be adding to my position in this area. But right now it's short term bullish for the IWM. We'll have to wait, just see. It's not telling me there's a trade here. I do not have permission to take a long term or a long position in this, but it definitely is showing strength. So, and I'll show you some that are telling me to take a long and take a short so you can see what that looks like. But right now, that's where we're at. All right, let's go over to that we did Dow Jones. Let's go look at the S&P 500 on the SPY. So SPY is the daily chart is long term. It's it's bullish, but it's showing weakness. It's showing weakness on the long term chart, but right now we're still bullish. I'm going to go to look at the weekly so we can look at the longer term outlook. Yep, everything bullish, but again showing weakness here. So we could see eventually here, that weakness started back here and we saw this nice rise. But we could see some consolidation showing up here shortly, or possibly a turn to the downside for a little while. Just won't know yet. There's nothing conclusive other than it's bullish with weakness. It's not a strong bull. Back here, strong bull. Over here, not strong bull. So I wouldn't be trading the SPY right now unless I was doing short-term trading, but for long-term, I would be waiting to get into that. All right, so there's let's go look at the NASDAQ. So here at the NASDAQ, same thing, long-term, it's looking positive, but it's looking positive all the way around. NASDAQ's looking much stronger than the S&P 500 or the Dow Jones. So this, I wouldn't mind jumping into this for a longer term investment right now. We are getting a breakout above this little channel that was forming on the weekly. Let's go look at the daily. So right now in the daily, yep, it's we had a week bull here, if you will. So, and you can see exactly what this looks like. Week, which pretty much we went into consolidation, right? And now we're getting a strong bull and we're starting to break out. So definitely looking strong. I like to trade off of major weakness going into major strength. So I don't trade these waves. I like to do it off of major weakness into strength is how I do it right here. Major weakness into strength. So I like to capitalize on those moves. So I don't typically jump into trades like this. But right now, if you're thinking about the QQQ or the NASDAQ, it's looking pretty good. All right. And again, traders, I'm not telling you what to trade. I'm just giving you my analysis. If I was going to be trading these things, what I would be doing for my own personal self. I'm not telling you what to trade. So don't take any trades based on what I say here. Do your own homework, your own due diligence. Trading is really risky. My results are definitely not typical. And a lot of traders do lose all their money. So be very careful. Make sure you do your own homework. Make sure the trades are right for you. A trade that might be right for me might not be right for you. So don't just do something because you heard it here. Make sure it's right for you. All right. So so we looked at those main indexes that I wanted to share. So let's go over and look at gold. What is gold doing? So in the daily right now, gold is looking strong for the short-term daily. So we do see a bit of a gold strength going on right now. Let's go over to the weekly chart. And on the weekly, this does not look good long term. So long term, gold's looking pretty rough. We do have a bit of a potential channel or trend lines here that we can be looking at playing off of. Also going straight across, we see a potential channel here. If I were to be trading gold, I would be looking at shorting it right now, even though on the daily, if I was looking for a long-term thing, on the daily right now, we're looking strong. We're looking strong right now. But for how long? So if I were to short this right now, I would have my stop or speed bump just above this area right here. And I'll be looking forward to roll over and go down. Let's go back to the weekly and I'll tell you more about it. So we did have had a high. Then we had a low. We had a lower high, lower low. Just barely a lower high, lower low, lower high, right? So we're clearly in a downtrend right here. And then we had our low. Then we had a lower high again. But we didn't have a lower low. And we didn't have a lower low right here. So we started to make some higher lows potentially. So is this just a little bobble where it's just kind of going to go sideways and then give us that lower low? And this will be our high? Or is this shaping up to be the lower low, looking for a higher high? So if I were to short this, I would definitely have my stop just above this area here. Actually, probably just around the top of this candle right here, looking for a breakout. I wouldn't get long until I saw a high above this area right here, or if the algo told me to get in long. But right now, this is looking very weak on gold. Gold does not look good long term. If I was just trading it for this week coming up, and I was just planning on trading it for maybe 3 or 4 days, maybe even a couple weeks, looks pretty bullish right now. I don't know if it'll stay that way. Not good enough for me to trade it. Again, I like to take my trades out of major weakness into strength so I can capitalize on nice moves when it's already been strong for a while. Sooner or later, this is coming. So I don't trade those. I like to come out of weakness and into strength. And it has to give me permission and all kinds of other stuff. So no trade for me on gold, but that's my thoughts on gold. So let's go look at silver. All right, here we are with silver. Silver looks good. Silver is a trade I might take. So on a daily chart right now, we do have a signal to get in long. So I would be trading long silver. I'd be entering right here. So basically Monday morning, I'd be buying this right now, which I might actually buy some silver Monday morning. I'd put my stop just below this area, making a lower low. I'd get stopped out, and I put my target somewhere in these gap fill areas to start looking at. Let's see what the algo is telling me. All right, so the algo is saying jump in Monday morning for me. It's telling me to jump in Monday morning. And then it actually does have gap fill as a first target. Second target would be here as a potential target. I usually take my profits right here unless something sets up nice or boost right through. Then I put my stop at the target, and then I'll wait and either get out on a candle pattern or look for the next target here. So these are the two targets. It's telling me to put the stop here, but I would probably put my stop down here. Just as from a psychological standpoint for me, I'd like to see it make a lower low before I got stopped out. But right, if it comes back down here, the algo thinks it's game over and it's going to go lower. So is what it is. Or maybe I'll get some of my position out at the correct stop, and then maybe I'll hold a small little bit and wait for a bounce if it were to happen. But yeah, so silver, that's what silver looks like right now in the short term. Looks pretty positive. Like I said, I may pick up some shares of that on Monday. And then long term, silver does not look good at all. Looks really bad. So yeah, silver looks terrible. I wouldn't short this right here, even though it looks really bad. I'd want to see a breakdown below this area right here. We do have an M pattern right here, a really nice M pattern, and we broke that M pattern. So this does look like it's pretty much game over for silver for a while. But like I said, short term, I may take a trade on Monday and maybe hold it for a couple days till it hits those targets and then bounce out. But long term, silver doesn't look good. So if it breaks this area right here, though, it's here. Let me put a line on the chart. If we break this area right here, it's pretty much game over for silver, at least for a while. Could come all the way back down here. We might see this into this to this zone down in this area. All right, let's go look at GME, GameStop. What is going on, GameStop? What are we looking at? So GameStop actually looks like they got some earnings coming out on 9/8. So, oof, that could be interesting. GameStop, what a play coming up here potentially. Because, with the whole hype already around GameStop and all their attention's on it, we can look right here and see what GameStop's earning has been, right? Like, we're losing money, but who cares? Let's let the stock go to the moon, 483. Are you kidding me? And then earnings comes out, and we're making money now, right? We're making money. And what happens when earnings comes out, we're making money? We sell off. Really? Like, does that make any sense to you traders? This is the market for you. So that's why, like, when earnings comes up, I don't usually like to be in a trade before earnings, because even when they have good earnings, depending on what the guidance comes out from the company, it could be really bad. And then even if it has bad earnings, if the guidance is good, like, hey, everybody, we lost all of our money last month, but we got this new invention that just got patented and we're going to take over the world, that could be the meeting. So you see the number, but the stock it didn't go through the roof because GameStop did something amazing. It went through the roof because everybody, as a populace, decided that they're going to take it to the moon, and that's where it went. But you never really know what the guidance is going to be. So just because it has good earnings or bad earnings, it's kind of hard to say what's going to happen. So I don't like to be in trades before earnings comes out. I'd like to be out before that happens. With that said, right now, GameStop looking very, very weak on the long-term front. And I mean long-term, like this is a weekly chart. So we're talking months and months and months. If I was going to buy this and hold it for 6 months, it doesn't look good. So, but let's go look at the daily and see if there's a daily trade here. There is a daily trade here. So on the daily chart, this looks pretty positive. The algo is telling me to jump in right here. And it's telling me to make this my target and then my stop right here. But it's in, let me zoom in here. It's in a bit of a tower candle. So when it happens in a tower candle, it's not just a normal flagpole. Like if this was a normal flagpole, see these little white dashes, they'd be down below. but they're inside of the candle. So that indicates a tower candle to me based on my algo, which means that this could retrace half or all of this candle before it decides to go back up. And then we saw weekly, it's on a very weak, I mean, it looks very, very weak on a weekly basis. So, you know, maybe this does come all the way back down and it says, just kidding, and it keeps going. It's like really hard to say. But if I were to trade GameStop, it's very tempting to go ahead and take a trade in this. I would be jumping in now, and then I would be looking at this as my target. And if GameStop did come back down to this area, I would add to my position, and I would stop out when it went below this this candle right here. This would be my stop right there. So I would add close to here, stop out fully here, and my target would be right there for GameStop on a short-term deal. Let's fix this. If we go back in time, so here you could see the algo on GameStop back in time. This is 2 years. You can kind of see, and once I go that bigger, that gigantic candle is going to shrink this all down, but it's got a pretty good success rate on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 2. So 80% win rate right now over 2 years. So pretty good. And right now it's telling me there's a trade right here, a short-term trade for maybe a week or so with those numbers. So yeah, GameStop, I don't know, maybe I'll grab some shares of GameStop on Monday just for fun. And then who knows, maybe this kind of monkey business happens, but that can also happen to the downside. So scary, scary with a trade as volatile as this. But yeah, maybe I'll pick up a couple shares of GameStop and some shares of silver just to have fun with it for the week. All right, let's go look at AMC and see what happens with AMC. What is going on AMC? AMC is another one. AMC's got a short-term long play setting up here. ALGO thinks that this is going higher with AMC. We do have a little bit of a support area right here, so this could be coming back into the support area. Not a bad place for me to add if I did jump into AMC. We do have a W pattern right here. I'm going to zoom in on this. So we do have a bit of a W pattern right here, or a couple of them that we're trying to form up. It's not a real strong one, but it is one. Broke out of that, coming back to retest that, and then we could be off to the races. So I might even pick up a few shares of AMC on Monday morning just to dabble with that on AMC. So, and then there's my stop will be right here where the algo is telling me. My target will be right here where the algo is telling me. So for those of you who are subscribed to my swing trade picks, I will not be sending these out as my swing trade picks, even though I will be trading these probably. I only send out the very highest probability trades, which I do a lot more homework into, and that is for my subscribers, and then I send those out. Those are the only ones I send out. I will not be posting those trades here because I'm saving those for my subscribers, for my paying customers, but I will be taking some of these trades as well because I do look pretty good. So so there we are. So the AMC not looking too bad, but you know, on the long term AMC does not look good at all. Another one looks really bad. So there we go, traders. That's my weekend roundup, if you will, or weekend outlook, I should say, of the week going forward, week or two going forward. I'm going to try to start doing those every week so you can kind of see what the algo is looking at with the market, and then we'll pick a bunch of tickers. I'll show you one more ticker actually before we jump over there. I got 2 swing trades open. Let's show you those, and then we'll head out for the night, and then be back the following weekend. So here's AMPY. This is a swing trade that I'm in right now. So you can see my my limit and my stop order in. Looks nice uptrend here with higher high, lower, you know, higher low, higher high, higher low. Looking for a higher high with AMPY targets right here, but there's a good possibility we're going to see a higher high on this thing and hit a 2R winner right there. Just a small position size in this. We do have, what is this, earnings in November. So as long as I'm out of this by November, we're good. But right now, this is looking pretty good on the chart itself. We are seeing weakness though on the weekly. So long term, you know, when we're looking like 5 or 6 months out, this is looking pretty weak for a 5 or 6 month out deal. So I don't think it's going to be strong for very long, but long enough to should be long enough to get us our trade. So on the daily right now with AMPY, we are looking a bit on the weaker side. It's not quite a short play, but it is looking a little bit weak. So it could, you know, that could change tomorrow. But right now we could see some more consolidation before we get a move higher. So I'm not expecting this to be going right up right away, although that totally could happen. It could totally happen tomorrow. Like I said, it's on the weak side, but the stronger weak side. All right, and then CVS is our other swing trade that we're in. You can see we got the limit order and stop order in for the target and everything. And CVS looks good. You know, we're strong here, all good on the daily. And then, actually, before we do that, all good on the daily. We do have a nice little break above this resistance area. Came back down through it, though, so we'll see. Is it going to try to come back all the way down and retest this area here before going higher? I don't think so. I think we're going to continue higher from here because we are seeing the algo showing strength. And then here we are on the weekly. Weekly is on the bullish side, but we are seeing some weakness. You know, so we may see some more consolidation here before going higher, but definitely looks solid. And again, we have earnings coming up on the 11th on November, so definitely need to be out before November on that one. And then ACRE on the weekly, not looking good. ACRE, I was looking at this one for a potential swing trade. You know, we had this huge sell-off, a really nice recovery back up to near highs. Big old drop right there, flagpole, a bearish flag kind of happening right there. But on the daily, algo thinks this thing's going higher. So on the daily, there's a trade here for a short-term swing trade for a gap fill, basically. So that's what we're looking at on the daily. You know, we have this consolidation channel right here, and then it's just barely poking out of that consolidation channel, the high of it. Definitely clearly out from the normal channel. This little anomaly right there, it's out. It's out. We got closes above. We've got the red that came back down into it. We got a new green. Algo says to get in. Like, looks good. You know, we got dividends coming up here soon. So there's a lot of stuff about this ACRE that actually looks pretty good. You know, but look what it is. Commercial real estate. So that's a tricky thing right now with what's going on with COVID. Like, you know, one day this could be fine, and the next day news can come out and this thing could just crash straight to the floor. So I don't know, traders, but I may take this trade. I may add a little dabble into ACRE, put it on my list. So Monday morning I may jump into it. Right now we're a little late on the trade. I needed to get in back here when the algo indicated a trade. This is a little late to the party, which means my risk reward will be a little bit off. But if we do get a gap fill, there's a good chance we'll get a little bit of a decent gap fill. So it'd be pretty close. But looking for a trade on this. I think what I might do is I may take some shares of this tomorrow, a starter position. And if that's all I get, that's all I get. And then if it comes back down, maybe I'll add to my position and then go for the ride. But I'm probably going to take some shares of this, traders. And instead of using this as my stop, which is clear, if it breaks this, it's pretty much game over is what the algo is telling me. But for me, if it comes back down into this area right here, I'm going to be done with it. It's coming back into this channel that it had. Here, let me put some lines up here. So we have, essentially we got this channel, which, you know, it breaks in and out of. Here, we can move that one down a little bit. All right, so we got our channel right here. So if it's going to come, you know, it's out. It's clearly out. If it wants to come back into this channel, then I think I'm done with it. So I'm probably going to do this right here. I'm going to take some shares on Monday. And then where are we? Right here. 1485, that's my stop. So why is this my stop? It's halfway back into the channel. If it gets that deep into the channel, it's confused. And I don't want to be in a trade and a ticker that's confused. So, and then my target right there. So I'm actually going to enter right there. Algo entry was here, which I'll just delete actually. I'll leave it for now. And this is where I'm going to get in right here. All right, so that's Monday. That's Monday, and then that's the week going forward. So I'm going to take a little position in ACRE, and I'll jump into those other ones that we just talked about as well. And then, next weekend we'll see how everything went, and we'll see what's going on, and we'll see what's moving forward. Again, if there's something you want me to talk about or look at or whatever, let me know in the comments below, and we'll talk about it next weekend. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. See ya.